to Life Coaching on the Move. I'm your host, Dawn Fiske, life coach, trainer, speaker, podcaster and YouTuber. Thank you for joining me today. I really do genuinely mean thank you as well. I know that you've all got busy lives, and I know that there are many, many podcasts out there for you to choose from, and I'm just really grateful that you've chosen to listen to me. It's very flattering. If you're a returning listener, then welcome back. You know the format. Surprisingly, today I am at home in the office. I'm not on a dog walk. If you're new to this podcast, then this is me. I chat away to you without a script, without an agenda. I just speak from the heart about a given subject. Sometimes I'm out in the woods walking the dog. Actually, it's now dogs because we've got a puppy. And that's where I'm most creative, so I chat and speak from the heart. But today it's not. I am today talking about confidence and why confidence is a choice. And how it's a choice, and how to make different choices in order to increase your confidence. It's really, really important subject. If we can have more confidence in ourselves, we are going to achieve more, do more, go to more places, speak to more people, than if we hold back our confidence and have low self-belief, small amounts of self-esteem and confidence. So I think confidence is crucial in life. It makes or breaks everything we do or don't achieve, do or don't do or don't go to and attend, and just how we feel. It's so, so important. So I am focusing on that today. Listen to the end, because I have got two big announcements to make at the end, which I'm dead excited about. If you are new, by the way, there are at least almost 50 other episodes in the back catalogue to listen to, all of which will help you. They're all full of tips, techniques that you can use. They're all full of stories of my own or of clients that I'm working with at the time, so they're very real, and I bring them alive and give examples, and so it's less theory based, more sort of everyday life based. And I realise we're coming up to the year's anniversary of when I first launched this. It will not be long, a couple of weeks, and I will be on my 52nd. I've done one every single week without exception for almost a year now. So maybe perhaps I'll do some kind of celebratory workshop or something on offer. Anyway, let's crack on now and let's start building on our confidence. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope it's really useful. There'll be a small little silence part while I switch, and then the episode will commence. How are you on today's podcast? I do actually, when I'm recording these things, I always imagine who you are, where you are, what you're doing when you're listening to me, what's happening in your life, what date it is, because I'm very aware that you may be listening to it this week when I've just launched it. Or you may well be listening to it next year in the future. Time has moved on. I have no idea of who you are, what you do, where you are, and what year it is. But more than anything, I worry about how you're feeling. So how are you doing? The fact that you're listening to this podcast makes me excited, because it means you're keen to grow, you're keen to develop. It makes me excited because you're keen to hear other views and other sources of information. So it makes me think that you're probably very open-minded. You've probably got growth mindset. Sometimes I think, does it mean you're struggling? And that's why you're listening to a life coaching podcast. And if you are, then I feel your pain. I want to be with you in that struggle. I want to help you. I'm glad you're listening to this, because I am confident that this content and all of the past episodes will help you, especially if you listen to them all. It's like a little tap dripping effect. They all build on each other. So they speak to different people at different times. I've been told that by listeners and clients, that sometimes an episode would just talk to them. It was what they needed at that time. So I hope today, whether you're feeling upbeat or not, whether you're struggling or not, whether you've got some self-doubt, whether you've got some confidence struggles going on, I hope this is just what you need. I really, really hope it's been perfect timing for you, because I do genuinely care. I really get fond of my clients and genuinely care and love it and feel really, really humbled, really satisfied, really a real sense of achievement when I see them emerge out of there, come out of there, improve, grow, feel better, feel more in control, feel more upbeat, and happier. I guess that's probably the word. They feel much, much happier. So I hope today this podcast will help you achieve that. Now, what's the subject? So today we're back on the subject of confidence. This is a life coaching podcast generally, but quite often we're talking about confidence, because I do passionately believe that if I can help somebody grow their self-confidence, their inner self-belief, then anything is possible. It actually doesn't matter what someone phones me about or knocks on the door about in terms of booking life coaching session. It could be career, it could be weight loss, it could be goals and achieving goals, it could be management and their teams, or communicating with their boss, or a problem at work, or something like that, stress. Whatever it is, it doesn't seem to matter what it is. Most of the time, no matter what it appears to be on the surface, most of the time I would say a good 85% plus. Once we start working on it, once we start stripping it back, there's an issue about confidence, whether it's confidence in terms of talking to their manager, or they're managing their team, or confidence in their their own ability, how they fit into that organisation, whether they believe they can or can't progress and deserve promotion, or deserve the job that they're going for if it's career coaching, or will feel confident enough to push themselves up that ladder, or in a relationship, whether they have the confidence to go for dates for people that they think are too attractive or won't be interested in them, or, So if I know as a coach, if I can help them fundamentally address any confidence problems and grow their confidence and expand their self-belief and their self-worth and self-esteem, if together we improve that by 10%, 20%, 60%, 100%, then their life will turn around, whatever it is. By improving their confidence, everything else improves. The two are interconnected. Confidence is the foundation of everything. So I do not make any apologies for coming back to this subject frequently, because it is key. So today we are focusing on your confidence, on confidence generally. But what is confidence? Actually, I think confidence is a bit of a typo. I think confidence is choice, actually. Starts with the same letter, but very, very different spelling. When we're talking about confidence, I like to change the word to choices. It comes down to the choices that we make. What do I mean by that? Well, as you all know, if you've listened to any of the previous episodes, confidence is rooted in our thoughts, or our thoughts are our confidence. The two things are the same. So depending on what we're saying to ourselves, depending on what we're thinking, will directly affect how we feel. So if we're thinking positive thoughts, strong thoughts, confident thoughts, self-empowering thoughts, helpful thoughts, we're going to feel good. If we're having self-doubting thoughts, self-sabotaging thoughts, negative thoughts, glass half empty thoughts, pessimistic thoughts, self-doubting and angst, then we're not going to feel confident. We're going to feel doubting and lacking in confidence and doubtful of our abilities. By the way, if you can hear a funny noise in the background, I'm not today walking the dogs. I am sat in my office, but they're both at my feet asleep. The little puppy is fast asleep, and she makes the weirdest sleep noises when she stretches and moves position. So if you hear a strange noise, it's her. Fundamentally, what matters are the thoughts that we're running. Now, we're in charge of those thoughts though. So you can change those self-doubting thoughts, those disempowering thoughts, those self-limiting thoughts, and tell yourself other things. It's a choice. So that's where I mean that confidence is choice, or there is no such thing as confidence as such. It's about the choices that we make. So we can choose what we're going to say in our head. We can choose what beliefs we're going to run, what habit thinking we're going to run. We can choose where to put our attention. So if we put, there she goes again, if we put our attention on our inabilities, our inadequacies as we see them, our, our weaknesses, then that's what we're going to get more of. Because if we focus on I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm not fit, I'm not attractive, I'm not a good speaker, I'm not socially confident, I'm not popular, I'm not, if that's what we're saying, that's how we're going to feel. And if that's how we feel, we're not going to make ourselves go out there in the world and hold our head up high and go and talk to strangers and accept party invitations, or instigate contact with old mates, or suggest a party. Or we're not going to do that, because we're telling ourselves we're socially shy, never know what to say, we're ugly, we are not popular, we're too fat, etc. If that's what we're saying. So not only does what we're saying affect how we feel, it actually then affects what we do. So we don't go to those parties, we don't go out there with a big smile on our face and our head held high and our shoulders back, and laugh a lot and crack jokes a lot and approach strangers, or mix and join activities and get out there. We don't do it. And so therefore the results we get are, we feel lonely, we feel that we don't have very many friends, we're single, etc. So what we're saying in our head directly affects how we feel. How we feel directly affects what we do, the actions that we take, or in fact the actions that we don't take. And those actions that we do take or don't take directly impacts on the results that we get in life. And that then reinforces the thought that we had originally, or the belief that we're running. So if we believe we're boring, I haven't got anything exciting to add, I haven't got anything interesting to speak to them about, I don't want to go to that wedding because I don't know anybody, and I've got a +1 to take, and I won't really know anybody, and I'm a friend of the grooms, but I don't know anybody else there, and I won't go to the stag do because I won't know anybody, and I'm boring, and I'm not fun, and I'm not very socially strong, and I'm ugly, and I'm overweight, or whatever it is, that will then make us feel rubbish, feel shy, feel unable, and socially inept, if we want to call it that. That will then encourage us to turn that invite out and make up an excuse. Can't make the stag weekend, sorry, I'm working that weekend, away for work, or whatever. Or we turn the wedding invite down, and therefore the results are we stay at home by ourselves, we don't get out there, we don't make new friends, we don't potentially meet a new partner, we don't have a laugh, we don't have fun. And instead we're at home, and we're lonely, and we feel unwanted, and we feel unloved, and we feel unconnected, etc. So it's a spiral. Equally, we can be saying positive things, that, it's okay, I can talk to people, I'm quite interesting, I've got a few things that I can talk about, I quite like talking about this subject, I like getting on that subject, I'm quite good with, politics, or God forbid, at this current time, but I've got hobbies and I love to talk about that, or rock climbing, or mountaineering, or dog breeding, or whatever it is. If you feel that you've got some subjects, or you're a good listener, or you feel you've got quite a sense of humour, and you'll get up on the dance floor and have a bit of a dance, you may well then accept that invite, and may well then go to the wedding, and may well then have a great time and make a friend and exchange numbers, and before you know it, your network's wider, your social calendar's more booked, your confidence soars as a result, and you're on an upward spiral. So it all starts with the thoughts that you run and the choices that you make. So the choices as well. The choice about what you say in your head, and therefore the choice about how you feel, and therefore the choice about what you will do and the actions that you will take, and therefore the choice is about the results that you're going to get. They're all interconnected. If I had one of those presentations in front of me now, I would have these in 4 boxes or 3 boxes. Beliefs have an arrow to feelings, 4 boxes actually, have an arrow linking to your actions, which have an arrow linking to your results, and then a big loop arrow back to your thoughts, because it's a cycle, if you can visualize that. But we can choose what we say in our head. You can choose what you want to tell yourself. You don't have to believe it, and I've said this so many times before. You don't have to actually believe it, because your subconscious is the one that hears it. Your conscious will question you, your conscious brain, that's okay. Your subconscious brain won't question you. And it's the subconscious brain that's involved with all of these things anyway. So even if your conscious is doubting you, saying, well, of course I don't believe that at all. I can tell myself I'm socially strong and I'm socially funny and I'm upbeat and I can do this and I can handle this, but I know I can't. Don't worry about that. That's your conscious brain doubting you, the doubting Thomas. That's fine. But your subconscious is hearing you, is accepting it, and it goes with you, and it will do what you focus on. It will help and support you, even if you're not aware of it. It's your subconscious working. So you've just got to feed your subconscious the right stuff. Don't worry about the doubting Thomas. That will eventually see your results, eventually see you going out there anyway and going to that party and having a bit of a laugh and accepting a number or an invite to some other barbecue and going to that and seeing your results, and then your conscious goes along with it in the end anyway. It's persuaded by your results. So don't worry about that doubting Thomas, if that's what you want to call it. So we at any point can focus on the right things. If you focus on the wrong whatever you focus on, you're going to get more of. So be careful where you focus your attention. So focus on what you do want, not what you don't want. I don't want to be unhappy. I don't want to be in debt. I don't want to be overweight. I don't want to be in this rut of a job. I don't want to be single and lonely anymore. Don't tell yourself what you don't want, because you get more of what you focus on. For example, right now, where you are right now, I want you to look around you right now as an exercise. Look all around you and spot as many things as you possibly can, all in your area now, wherever you are, that are brown. Spot as many brown things as you possibly can. Go for it now. Okay, now I want you to close your eye. I'm assuming, see, this is the problem with me not knowing you. I would love to know all of the listeners, but I imagine you found all sorts of brown things around you. I know looking around here, there are stacks of them, stacks. Now I want you to look around and notice only red things. They were there. You didn't notice them at all because you were looking for brown. But when I say to you, now look for red, they're all over the place and you no longer see the brown. So when you were searching for brown, that's what you saw. Did you see any of the red things? How many of the red things were there? You've got to decide what you want to focus on. If you're looking only for brown things, that's what you'll see. You will miss all the red things. The minute I changed your attention to the red things, they were there too, but you weren't looking for them. They were there. The same. No, okay, let's try this. Close your eyes now. Close your eyes. Hopefully you're not driving. Don't do this if you're driving, please. If you're not driving, close your eyes and recall where you are. In your mind's eye, go round that space and look for blue things with your eyes closed. There will be blue things. I mean, I'm sat in my office now and I can see blue files. I can see a blue thank you card. I can see a blue, well, I can see loads of blue. There's a box of felt pens and highlighter pens that I use, flip chart pens. There's blue in there. There's blue on, oh, I've got blue hole punch that I hadn't realised, and blue scissors. Hadn't even noticed those. So there's blue icons on the desktop here. There's blue on a photo of somebody in the sky that I've got on my desk. So there's blue everywhere. But I can see that because my eyes are open. Now open your eyes. How many things could you see when your eyes were closed of the space around you that were blue? You probably didn't notice them. Now open your eyes and spot how many there are that you weren't aware of because of your attention being on the brown. So do you see what I mean? You can set your mind to see. So we have a choice. When we wake up in the morning, we can choose to be in a bad mood or we can choose to be in a good mood. It depends what we say to ourselves. If we decide first thing in the morning, right, I'm going to have a great day today. I'm going to look for all the good, all the positive, all the upbeat things, then that's how we'll feel. In fact, actually, let's do that. Just now, I'm going to give you a second. I'm going to go quiet for a minute. I want you to think of what one thing could you be proud of right now? And you got it, didn't you? You got it. In fact, are there more? Think of some more. If you've got some more, what 1, 2, 3 things could you be really proud of right now in your life? They're there. Had you been thinking about them? No, because you're focusing your attention elsewhere. When you do change your attention around, doesn't that feel better? Doesn't that feel different? How do you feel when you're thinking of the things that you can be proud of? How do you feel right now when you've really focused on that? In fact, I've got this on a slide now. I'm looking at it on a slide, and the picture that I've got next to the question of what one thing could you be proud of right now is I've got a beautiful photograph of a male peacock with all of his feathers out in beautiful, splendid sort of array of colours. So proud of himself. So what, being that proud peacock, how could you feel that proud of what? And doesn't that feel good? And why don't we do this more often? Instead, we're worrying about this and beating ourselves up. I should have put this in the email, or I shouldn't have said that in that phone call. Why did I say this? Or why? What if they think this? And what if they think that? All these negative thoughts that we run through our head that just beat us up. So instead, we need to focus on other things. Here's another question. What one thing could you be grateful for right now? Give that some thought. What one thing could you be really, really grateful for right now? Now add to it. Add 2 more things so you make the total 3 things. What 3 things could you be grateful for right now? And how do they make you feel? How does that gratitude, that sense of gratitude make you feel? Let it wash all over you. Let yourself feel really, really wealthy with these things. These 3 things. Make yourself feel really rich because you're so lucky to have them. You're so grateful for them. You feel just an abundance of wealth for them. If you've got more than 3 things that you could be grateful for now, let's double it. Let's go to 6. Think of 6 things that you could be grateful for right now. These do not have to be big. These can be tiny. It could be the fact that it didn't rain this morning on your walk to the bus stop, or there wasn't a queue outside the supermarket. This is COVID-19 when we're now queuing. You got there just at the right time. When you came out, there was a huge queue. Ever had that? I had that yesterday at the pharmacy. Went straight into the pharmacy, came out, there was a huge queue outside. Perfectly timed, grateful. Or it could be big things that you're grateful for. But just look for them and let it wash all over you. And doesn't that make you feel better and different than you might have earlier? Here's another question for you. What one thing could you be excited about right now? Really, really excited. What one thing? What's looming? What have you got looming in the calendar, or at the weekend, or tonight, in this evening, or for dinner, or a phone call that you're going to make, or you're looking forward to seeing somebody, or you've got plans, or you've got a new book that you're about to read, or What one thing could you be excited about right now? What does that excitement feel like? What does that feel like now for you? And are there two things? Can you make it three? Three things that you could be excited about right now for the future. If you've got a new client coming in, are you going to try something new? Going to watch a film? It can be small things, it can be huge things. Have you got a birthday looming? Have you got somebody else's birthday looming? Is there a baby on the way? God, it can be vast or it can be tiny. It actually doesn't matter. What matters is you're focusing on positive things. So you're focusing on things you can be proud of. You're focusing on things that you can be grateful for. You're focusing on things that you can be excited about. Isn't that better for you than focusing on all the things you can't do in your mind, or that you can't have, or that you'll never be? And that just drags you down. I don't want you to do that. I want you to focus on these things. So instead of looking for brown, you're looking for the reds and the blues. You decide where you put your attention. So going back to the original part of this podcast, I said confidence is all about choice. Confidence is choice. It's the choices that we make. We are in control of those choices. We're in charge of our thoughts. We're in charge of our choices. We're in charge of our focus. Just make the right choices. That's what it's about. So I guess I need to just leave you with that thought. You now are in charge. I was working with my client yesterday, for example, who is a younger person and struggles with confidence, and we are working on their confidence. And we have been working on their confidence for a few weeks now. So we've been covering theories, and in between the coaching one-to-one sessions, I always set tasks for the client to practice doing this. Do this in the next week or 10 days until we next meet, and let's talk about your results that you get. So practice. Try this strategy. So we had been talking about this. We had been talking about pushing them out of their comfort zone, embracing life more, saying yes more, being comfortable, being uncomfortable, but being prepared to push through that and push themselves further in order to build their confidence. And my client was saying yesterday a couple of things that they've done. So normally, because they lack so much confidence, they will not normally instigate things. They are not the person that messages a friend and suggests, hey, why don't we do a pizza night? Or why don't we meet up for a walk? Or why don't we do whatever it is? And so as part of her homework or practice or whatever you want to call it, she had committed to the fact that she would extend she would take the lead and initiate a few socials. So huge pat on her back, she had done that. And what had happened was she'd not only instigated it, where suggested two friends come round, where normally she won't take that risk for fear of them rejecting her and not coming, or not wanting to, or her being boring, or her messing it up, or not entertaining, or it going wrong. That were her initial fears. Overcame then those, sent out a message to two mates, and they both accepted. Both came round. They had a lovely time. The knock-on effect to that, though, was in addition, one of them said, oh, this has been really good fun. Why don't you come to me at so-and-so on such and such a date and what? And so that had happened. It had caused the friend to initiate something in return. So my client accepted that wouldn't allow herself to hesitate, accepted, because she's working on all this to embrace life, accepted. And when she did accept, that person had invited some other friends as well, that's not in my client's normal social network. And that had gone so well that that friend of a friend had suggested they would be putting on a barbecue or drinks or something like that, or meet in the park or something, and invited my client. So suddenly her social network was now widening. So not only has she strengthened her confidence about her own close network, she's is having a ripple effect, where we drop that stone into the pond and it ripples out. She was now widening her friendships and loving it, having a great time. So that was a choice she made. She could have easily made the choice of, no, I'm not going to take the initiative and extend out an invite to my mates, because I'll wait till they, like I always have done, I'll wait till they contact me. Didn't do that. She changed that, the choice she made. As a result, then got another invitation and accepted that to her friend's house. So that's another choice she made. As a result of that, the friend of a friend invited her to some other event, and where she would definitely wobble at this one, I don't really know them, and would absolutely have held back on this one and found a reason to talk herself out of it. She stopped all of that. The choice she made was to embrace that, and it's got momentum. It's that snowball picking up momentum, picking up speed, and picking up size as it rolls down the snowy hill. That's exactly what my client is doing. Another occasion was somewhere else where she stayed on later when her own friends had gone. She stayed on with a group of people that she doesn't normally know. When her friend went, she would normally have gone too. She didn't. She made herself stay in order to, get to know these people, be friendly, push herself, scare herself a bit, but it was great fun. Had a lovely time. So, but we have to do that. That's not going to be done for us. That's not going to happen to us. Life doesn't happen to us. We've got to make life happen. So her choices were the right choices. They opened doors. She didn't shut doors in her own face. That's what confidence is about. It's about making the right choices, not staying stuck. She opened those doors. And so if you see that slide in your mind of those 4 boxes with the arrows interlinking, she changed what she was thinking. I'm going to embrace life. I'm going to push myself. I'm going to make the right choices. That changed how she felt, the feelings box. She felt more excited, a little bit nervous, apprehensive, of course. But she was in charge. That change had an impact on the actions that she took. She accepted those invitations. She sat comfortably with feeling uncomfortable and out of her comfort zone until it did feel good. They had a laugh. The result was she got more invitations, accepted those, and the cycle went round and round. But it was a good cycle, and this is exactly what you can do. Confidence is about making the right choices, choosing to say the right things, choosing to do and take some steps and some risks, take some actions, and choosing to change your results. So if I were to leave you with just one thought this week, just 2 words actually, the 2 words are choice. You can choose. You're in charge. And yes. Say yes to things. Choose to say yes. In fact, perhaps that should be the strapline for this podcast episode. Choose to do it anyway. Choose to feel the fear and do it anyway. Great book title, great book. Of course you'll be a little bit worried. Of course you'll be a little bit nervous because you're out of your comfort zone. Doesn't make it wrong though. That's where most of the opportunities sit, outside our comfort zone, not inside our comfort zone at all, or prison. As you know, if you've listened to previous episodes, that's what I'd rather call a comfort zone, is our self-inflicted prison, actually. And who wants to be in prison? Not me. Now, so go out there and make the right choices. Go out there and say yes to more things and see the results. Change your results. Share your results with me. I love hearing from you. I love hearing what you've done, tried, dipped your toe into, and what happened as a result. So drop me a line on my email address, dawn@milestone-coaching.co.uk, or you can always do it through my Facebook page. Now, I've got some really exciting news as well, a few announcements. I have launched, last episode I mentioned that I was going to launch group coaching sessions. I did launch them, a 7-week life skills and confidence course I launched last week, and it was brilliant. They are small, friendly groups on Zoom. And it went really well, so much so that I am running another one alongside it so that I can open the door to more people. because it was so powerful, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. They thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thought, well, we've all got time on our hands now. This is such a key subject, such an important subject, that if we can increase our confidence, the whole future changes. So I need to put more of these on. So my announcement is there is another one starting, and it is going to start it's on my workshop page of my website. The next 7-week program starts on 23rd of June and runs until the 4th of August. So it's every 7 weeks, 23rd of June, which I think is a Tuesday evening, this one. I'm changing the days of the week so that it can accommodate more people. This one will be running 7:30 to 8:30 every Tuesday for the next 7 weeks, starting the 23rd of June. That's British summertime. And the cost, this is the only time this will be this cost. At the moment is a special launch price of just £70 per person. That actually equates to only £10 per session. You will never get life coaching for £10 ever, anywhere. It is just slightly more than an expensive coffee in a coffee shop, but it is life-changing. And I do not apologise for saying that. It truly will be life-changing. If you can increase your confidence, you will change your future. So for just £10 a session, only at the moment, if you're listening to this in a year's time, it will be a different price. You can work on your confidence for the next 7 weeks in a really safe environment, the comfort of your own home, via Zoom, and gain loads of tips and techniques. So email me for this, dawn@milestone, all one word, -coaching.co.uk, or go to the website www.milestone-coaching.co.uk, and you can click on contact me, or you can go to the workshops page and click on reserve your space, or you can email me and I will send you an outline of the program and you can reserve your place there. So that's that one. The second announcement I've got is I'm also launching a shorter stress management workshop via Zoom. These are 3 weeks. It's a 3-week program where you will learn all about your symptoms, all about your triggers of your own stress. You will understand the importance of controlling the stress and why, what it's doing to you, what the risks are, what the impacts are of stress, and why it is so essential to control, manage, minimize our stress, what it does to our health, the horrible health consequences that the long-term stress can have, and why it is absolutely essential that we get on top of this. You'll gain loads of different stress management techniques, and you'll be able to identify the right coping strategies for you to use for you in your life with your challenges, and in different stressful situations in your life. So you tailor it to all of your own specifics. These two will also be small little groups. So this is a 3-week training program, and this one starts on Monday the 22nd of June, so the day before. So these are in a couple of weeks, and it runs for 3 weeks. This is a Monday night, and this one starts at 7 o'clock British summertime, GMT, till 8 o'clock for 3 Mondays. And the price of this one is $49.99. And again, this is a special launch price. It will not be this price down the line. So if you want to take this opportunity, then again, email me, dawn@milestone-coaching.co.uk, or again, visit the website www.milestone-coaching.co.uk, and you can click on the workshops page for this one, or both. And this actually might be the opportunity for me at last to get to meet you via Zoom. If you are a bit nervous about the confidence, or either of them, and you don't want to be seen, of course you can have your camera off. You don't have to be seen by other people, but they are very small, tiny groups and very friendly groups, and they're all people in the same boat. So don't let, oh, I hate being on camera, put you off. You don't have to have your camera on. It's better if you do, but you don't have to. It's not an issue at all. So I hopefully may well be meeting and working with some of you in the future. If not, go out there, be bold, be courageous, take risks, be confident, and have a great, great week. And I'm really looking forward to talking to you on next week's episode of Life Coaching on the Move. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you all.